Welcome to episode 7 of the TJTV podcast with myself, Tom.
I'm Jay.
Today's episode we will talk about life. We're going to we're going to answer a few questions that people have put to us on Instagram. We're going to do that every 2 weeks. So if you want to just ask generic questions about anything, if you want some advice from the two best people in the world, we will answer them. Everything is confident. That's the wrong word. Everything is. Help me out, Jay.
What is the right word?
What is the word?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
I've had a brain fart.
Is honest.
Honest. I mean, yeah. It's confidentiality as well. We won't say your name. Basically,
yeah.
I can't think of the word. Private. Yeah, private. Will you do private? Just to add a bit of different stuff to the pod. But I reckon we jump straight in on that. Yeah. Shall we? Okay. So.
Do you want to ask the two that I got asked first?
Go on. So Jay got asked 2 questions that I don't know yet. And then I think we had 2 or 3 on the TJTV Instagram, so we'll answer them as well. So
okay,
he's going to catch me off guard, yeah.
It was one of them where, you go, oh, that's a good one.
Go on then.
The one that I got was, if you could go back to one moment in your life, any moment, what would you go back to?
Like, obviously, good or bad?
Good or bad, if you could go back to any moments. Maybe do both, if you've got both.
If I could go back to any moment, is it a single moment or can it be like a collective moment?
I think mine was like a single moment, but if you want to do a collective, yeah.
I would love to go back, even one day actually, to when I took my dad to India.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, that was like to share something so special with someone you love so much, and that was his boyhood dream growing up, was to go to India. And I remember him saying he got to a point in his life, I think obviously got married, had kids, he accepted that was never going to happen. So for me to make my dad's dream come true and share it with him was, I don't think, honestly, it'll take a lot to top that for me.
What he's saying is, Sharon ruined his life.
Pretty much, yeah, nice one, Mum.
Like yours with chess.
Pretty much, yeah, like mine with chess. But no,
what made it so special?
Do you know what? Like, we went to Goa, which is, I mean, it's built up for tourism anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing with India is, you can be 1 second in nice built-up hotels and pure tranquility, and you walk 1 minute down the road and it's pure slum. Like rubbish getting burnt in the road, like 50 men just standing there, and it was very surreal. I got a nickname on the strip as Mr. Tattoo Man. And like obviously in India, the majority of them are Hindus, and then the rest are like Catholics. So one of my sleeves is obviously Catholic.
Yeah.
So we went in. I remember we walked into this shop once, and there was this old Indian man at the desk, and I think it must have been his son as well who owned the shop. And he was just staring at me, and I was like, Dad, I don't like the way this man's staring at me. He's like, oh, don't worry, it's fine, like, don't think nothing of it. He just kept looking, and every time I'd clock him, when you see someone looking at you, and you look at them, and they look away.
Yeah.
So I looked at him, and he was just like, I was like, oh shit, he's not looking away, what's going on here? And his son goes, oh, Mr. Tattoo Man, do you mind, my father, he want to bless himself. I was like, what? He's like, he want to bless yourself. So for the concept, I've got the Mother Mary on my arm there, and he was like besotted over the tattoo. He was like touching it, he was like blessing himself, he was saying prayers. And I walked out of the shop and I was like, wow, I don't feel there's anywhere else you could go that would happen. And at the start obviously I was a bit spooked because he was like staring. It looked like he wanted to kill me, but in fact he was just like fascinated of the tattoo and the religion behind it. And from there, that was like the first day, and from then on it was just like, oh, Mr. Tattoo Man every time. I'll tell you another one as well. We arrived in India. We didn't tell my mum until we got home, because we knew if we told her this story, game over, we'd have to get a flight back type of thing. So we arrived in India, in the airport. I think it was like a 10-hour flight. We arrived there, it was, must have been about 1 a.m. Got at the airport, our bags come out first. We were like, fucking hell, this is great. Walk outside, and it was just like, what the fuck? No organisation, no holiday reps, no nothing. So we were like, what do we do? Like, what is going on here? So when there was like this big coach park full of coaches, and when I say full of coaches, I'm talking 400 or 500 coaches. Wow. So I got the confirmation. I was looking, I was like, right, there must be something in here that tells us where to go. Yeah. There has to be, because if there's no rep, what are we meant to do? Roam around India. Yeah. So anyway, found it, whatever. Found a coach, got to the coach. The lights were off on the coach, and there was this like 12-year-old boy in the driver's seat, just like asleep. Me and my dad's like, what the fuck? Dad knocked on the window and he's like, oh, stunk of diesel, like proper, just the fumes would make you high alone.
Oh, the fumes, I think, at the aftershave?
No. It wouldn't be diesel, it'll be like drizzle. So we pushed the suitcases on, we get on the coach, and we're sitting on the back. We must have been sitting there for about 45 minutes. No one else had got on. The kid was still asleep, and we were just like, nah, this ain't wrong. I said, let's get a taxi. Fuck it, let's get a taxi. That very much sound. Got the suitcases off, we went, don't worry about it. And he's like, what you doing? Like, I haven't a clue what you're saying. We're going. Got in this taxi. Told him the hotel. He was like, yeah, fine, no problem. Get in. Nice chap. Got in the car, and then he starts driving. It was like, sound, finally we're on the move. Starts driving up this winding road into like woodland mountains, and there's no lights at all, no street lights, no nothing. And I'm looking at my dad, and my dad's looking at me, and we're going, this seems a bit dodgy here. Next minute, the guy stops the car. Woodlands here, woodlands there, and just a long winding road. Stops the car and goes, I need to wee. My dad went, I don't fucking think so. What are you? No, I need to do 2 minutes. Got out of his taxi, walked like towards like the woodlands, and I was shitting myself here because I've seen like dodgy ass films where, do you know what I mean, where you get kidnapped and stuff. And my dad looked at me and he was like, we fucked up here, boy. And I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get fucking mugged. So he's pissing and he's whistling. He's like he was calling for someone. And me and my dad were getting prepped to bingo and run. Like, it was scary. And I think it was a setup, if I'm being honest. I think the idea was to take Westerners, take them up the road, mug them, leave them, and that'll be that. And I think we were that lucky that when he was whistling at that time, his fellas weren't there. Yeah. So my dad got out the car. He's like, listen mate, you need to get back in this taxi now and take us. And he's like, oh, okay. So we got in, and my dad was like, no, you can't be doing that, like that's bang out. So we drove on, and it was like another hour and a half journey. I remember the whole hour half journey, my dad had his hand out the window on the door handle, just in case. But I've never been so scared in my life. So when you asked that question at the start, you know, what would you like to go? India, amazing, for one of the best experiences in my life, but also one of the most scariest experiences in my life also happened as well. And as I said, we look back, we talk about it now, and you know, we can go, oh fucking hell, you know, that nearly happened. But genuine fear for my life, like, we're gonna get stabbed, we're gonna get robbed. You know, I had loads of money on me, our suitcases, you know, we were there for 2 weeks, so we packed heavily. And I just thought, you know, this is my dad's dream, and I've spent a lot of money to get here, for it to potentially be ruined within the first half an hour of being there. Oh, scary, mate. Really scary.
Like, what was the purpose of it? Obviously, I know it's your dad's dream, but did you buy it for like a birthday present, or did you just think one day, you know what, he's always mentioned it? He's always talking about it. He always watches like Rick Stein in India and the Indian documentaries and stuff like that, and I think that's obviously Indian food's his favourite, likewise is mine. I think he got me into it at such a young age because he loved it, and obviously you want to do what your dad did. I watched that, and I got into me food. Went for his birthday or nothing, or Christmas or nothing like that. It was just, this is my dad's dream.
if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now.
Yeah.
I think I was 23 maybe. So I didn't tell him. I did. I booked it. I told my mum, booked it, then told him.
Yeah.
Like, I give him an envelope, and I've only ever seen my dad cry twice. First one was when his mum passed.
Yeah.
And the second one was when I gave him the India holiday. Yeah, twice in my whole lifetime. Yeah.
Wow.
It meant the world to him, and for me to be able to share that with my dad was the best experience I could ever ask for, ever.
I think that's good, that, because obviously with everything that's gone on over like the last 12 months or so, I think I've seen my mum and dad like 9 or 10 times, and like that kills me, because obviously I don't drive as well, so it is hard for me, like, especially when I was in work, to like get down there and then to come to me, because my dad is still working. And you know, we like listen to that. At least that's done before COVID. Do you know what I mean? Like that was.
It was.
Do that. Like this has made me realise where you go. Like I want to spend more nights out with my dad. And
you do, and it's funny you say that, because I've spoke to a few people, and obviously I'll use it as an example. Obviously we're hiring for SAS Cafe, aren't we? And we were like interviewing chefs and stuff, and I got chatting to a really nice guy, you know. And he was saying the one thing that COVID has made him realise is the precious time he needs to be spending with his daughter, and you know, work takes over. You know, work takes over your life, and I think this has made a lot of people realise that there's more things important in life than just getting up, going to work and going home. And you know, I was very fortunate years ago to experience that with my dad, but you know, I've done a lot of things with my dad since, because I think I thought very early on, I think I regret this in the future if I don't do stuff with him. You know, because I love spending time with him, and likewise, like he's my best mate. You know what I mean? Like it's brilliant. So you know, we've been to India and we've been to Egypt together, and you know, we do all these things together. Although my mum's probably hates it. Sorry, mum. I will take you on holiday, my lovely. I promise you. But yeah, it is a different bond. It is, and it's weird because I've always looked up to my dad, and I've always respected my dad and loved him to pieces. But I think at like a younger age, in my teenager days, I was like, "You're a fucking dickhead," you know, because he'd be the one who tells me off, and he's a fucking prick. You know what I mean? But I think as soon as I hit 18, he was like, "You're an adult." Simple as now. You're an adult. You get treated like an adult, and this is what it is. You know, we bonded very, very close, and we've still got that very close bond. So, to be able to do that, obviously pre-COVID, it is very pre-COVID, because it's a few years ago now, is magical. Because if I didn't do that and I look now, would I be able to do that anytime soon? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm glad I got to be able to share that and do that in my early life, because I've got them memories.
Exactly. Like this is the scary thing with it. Obviously, as I mean, I've spoke to you about it. I didn't get to see my mum and dad at like Christmas and that. And I was thinking to myself, a bit morbid, but what if something happened to them on Boxing Day or just after, or what if something happened to me? Like that's been taken away because of this. Do you know what I mean? And I get their thoughts on everything that's going on. It's different to mine, and I like that's up to them. Do you know what I mean? I'm not knocking them for it, but you know, you're like, what if something serious happened to one of us, and we've said no, we'll do it next year. It's only 1 year.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it is only a day, but it's a day that you look forward to, no matter.
Do you know what? Like, you can look back at life and say, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, and I think you just need to live every day like, not like it's your last, but make the most of your life. You know, I'd give anything to be able to spend one more day with me nan. You know, it's just stuff like that. You look back going, I wish I would have went round and seen him more. I wish I would have done this more. I wish I would have done that more. But again, you can't live life on if buts or maybes either. But I think what this pandemic has made people realise is family is everything. Is everything. You know, and it's nice to see people like, as I said, the guy I interviewed and spoke to was like, you know, spending quality time with my daughter is my now #1 priority, and I like that. You know, because that's so important.
Definitely, 100% it is, because even like I usually invite them around for like boxing and that. I'll be making sure I do it a lot more often now, because this could happen next year again.
Exactly.
Know, do you know what I mean?
And how easy is that, by the way, just inviting around to watch the boxing? Do you know how easy?
Because £5 each for a takeaway.
Do you know what I mean?
A couple of drinks and that's your night.
And the funny thing is, would you have done that if this pandemic didn't happen? Probably not as much. Yeah. And I'm the same.
The pay-per-view fights.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a big fight coming on. I'll buy it. You come round. Whatever. Whereas now I'll be going, right, there's a fight on in 2 weeks' time. Let's go.
Exactly.
Mine or Paul's or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Like I know for sure I'll be like, you know, I take my dad to all these exotic places, but I like to take me more for like a meal or we go places. Do you know what I mean? I know for sure I'll be doing that a lot more. A lot more. Has to. So what was your answer on that question then, Jay?
So I had to narrow it down to two.
Yeah.
The two very different, but the two of the same thing, if that makes sense. So the first one, I got invited down to AJ's training camp in 2016.
Yeah.
Just me. I was just there watching him train with his trainer, 1-to-1. It was in Sheffield, so I met Goodwin down there in Sheffield. Stayed the night it is, but I went there on my own to like Sheffield and just watching him train for the world titles 2 months before the world title and it being announced. So I was watching someone I've watched since he was in like the amateurs train for the world title, just me, and then we stayed after it and spoke like just over it, literally like this, for about an hour after it. He bought me a taxi, waited until the taxi picked me up, signed gloves for everyone.
Because you got mugged, you can knock them out.
It was like that. I was paid up.
AJ's your bodyguard.
And, so that one was just like, you know, where you just come away going like, why me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was one, and that was just an invite. He just invited me down. I went down, and you know, I got there quite early, just to make sure I knew where it was and everything like that. But as time was going on, I was going, he's not turning up here. He's not turning up. Wasn't replying. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And then next minute he was like, I'm inside. And when I went in, there was loads of people there at this time, and I seen him in the distance, put his thumb up to me, and I was like, don't go over, I'll sit here, let him come over to me. And then just from that moment, he was just like, in the middle of his rounds, he was sitting on the ring talking to me about the fight that he had a Bill and Mike. So it was just like surreal.
So to touch on that, sorry Jay, obviously for people who are listening thinking, maybe one, who's AJ?
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, and you don't know, you're absolutely living in a different world. And for two, I think people would want to know, why you? Why?
Do you know what? I'd love to know. I think the only thing that's ever come down to was, before he turned pro, as I said, I followed his career anyway, and I was into boxing, but it wasn't massively. There was just something about him that I liked. And then he turned pro, and I remember on like his debut, he had these, like, looking back, they were awful. Do you know what I mean? It was very basic.
Yeah.
Like, Team Joshua, AJ, and I could make them myself type ones. I remember messaging on Twitter, like on the normal feed. I was just like, are they available to buy? Because there was no merchandise at this point for him. And I never got nothing about it. I got like, they're going to come back in stock, and I thought, oh, it's like one of them automated ones. And anyway, he announced the fight in Liverpool about, I don't know, 9 months later or something like that. And I went there, and just as I turned up outside the Hilton, because it was the press conference, I think, just as I turned up, he pulled up in his car, got out, I went over, was like, any chance of like a photo, please? And he was like, yeah, just let me take my bags out. Called me back over, done the photo and that was it. And I was like, made up, like, I was buzzing. Anyway, I put it on my Twitter that night, and I was like, me and Andy Joshua made up to. He direct messaged me and was like, if I knew it was you, I'd have gave you one of the t-shirts you were asking for. This was like 9 months before, like,
before anything. Yeah. Like, wow.
At this point, he like followed me. This is when he was like in charge of his own Twitter and that. Followed me and then added me on like Snapchat and all that. I was like, wow, this is mad. And then literally ever since that day, just being not close, but you know what I mean, like, he's always messaged and asked how I am.
Yeah.
Suggested this. I said, me and Lizzie went to the Dylan Mike fight, and like his mate messaged us dead early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, and was like, we're in this hotel, come down. So we got like posters and everything.
It's amazing. I mean, like, his cousin's messages, doesn't he, for like advice to this day on certain stuff.
Yeah.
I just think that's really nice. You know, he's recognised, you've obviously followed him from early on, and he doesn't have to do that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And if he doesn't do that, you wouldn't think any less of him.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like, why would you?
He could delete me on everything.
Yeah.
He's a multi-million star.
I remember you. I think it was just before COVID, maybe, or it might have been during it. You was on his Snapchat.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's his memories.
Yeah.
Like, he put them up, like 2 photos. But that's where the second memory, that one that I'd go back to, was like quite randomly. There was like an evening with him.
Yeah.
In Manchester, and I'd seen it, and we went to one in Bolton about a year or two before it, and mate, it went on. It was meant to happen about 2 years before that. It was just getting postponed, and the guy wasn't replying to us about tickets. It cost a fortune, like, do you know what I mean? And anyway, we went there, and Joshua like recognised us and like shouted my name across the room. I was like, that's unreal. And anyway, I seen this Manchester one. I was like, oh my god, how long's that been announced for? Like, he never put it up. I just randomly seen it. So I messaged him, and he was like, how many tickets do you want? Now in my head I'm going, I'll invite my mum, my dad, you, everyone, like. And I thought, you know what, like, just be sensible. It's like two's fine, like, me and Lizzie will go again. He's like, okay, you're on the guest list. I was like, what? And I thought, this is too good to be true again. It was like about 2 weeks before it. Anyway, we went down, had to be in like suit and everything. There our name was on the thing, gold wristband. So that includes like a photo with him. So you're in like this big queue, and then obviously like the Q&A, and you get like a three-course meal and stuff like that.
Well, what was on the menu?
Oh, it was lovely, but I can't remember. It was a
That's how nice it was.
Yeah, it was like a roast, one of them like proper, like, not a roast with like ampesi potatoes, like proper like nice, you know what I mean? It was lovely. And then I always get like a chocolate dessert, proper sweet tooth. But when we got the photo done, we like, he was behind like a curtain, so we turned around, and again he's like, Jay Harris. And then as we're about to get the photo, because everyone else was like, get your photo, go, do you know what I mean? Like, you get moved on quick.
It's quick, yeah.
He speaks to them, but his bodyguards and everyone else, or whoever he's with, was like, go. Next minute he's like holding on to me and Lizzie, literally like this, we're sniffing his armpit like this, and he's like, do you want anything else? And I was like, no, like, this is enough. They were my words. I was like, this is enough. He was like, no. He was like, come backstage after it. So I was like,
what's going on here?
Like, yeah, he was like, Mark, who like was promoting it and all that, he was like, message him at the end when it's all finished and come back here. And I was like, oh my god. So again, in my mind, because it's too good to be true, you're like, I'll message and they'll blank.
And it won't happen, yeah.
Next minute, it finished, message Mark, Jay, like this from the stage. I was like, Lizzie was like, oh my god. He was like, come up. So we go up, and like someone's like, two people try and follow us, and they go, no to these two. Me and Lizzie get to go through, and this fella's like, these are with AJ. Lizzie was like, ah! Next minute we go back, and he's signing stuff, you know, we won like in an auction and that. And this must be about midnight-ish, something like that. And next minute, yeah, he finishes signing, comes over to me, like, starts speaking to us, and that hugs Lizzie. And next minute he goes, Mum. I'm like, oh god, what have I done? He's like, pads. That's like a dream come true. That's one thing I've always said, I'd love to just do pads with him. Like 12:30 in the night, but like, I'm doing pads backstage in this hotel with Anthony Joshua and his team like around me. Like, it was just
wow.
Amazing. Like that night, I think we were there till about 2 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, just sat there with him, like his cousin, a couple of his team, but like he was sat on a couch and we were just literally just talking.
How was your hands?
Mate, so I was only on pads for half a minute. I was like, I'm gonna have to stop. But that night, I was saying this to Lizzie last night. I was like, that's one of them where, in the moment, I didn't feel like starstruck or not. And I don't really get starstruck, but I didn't feel it. I just felt like I was just with a mate, and then I come away from it where like the adrenaline then kicked in.
Then
after it's finished, I'm in the taxi
sense of realisation as well,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah. And then I'm on his stories and everything. I'm like, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, why? I get that again. Like, why me? Like, that event cost like 300 quid each for like the gold one. We got it for free. We got pads. Do you know what I mean? Lizzie got to sit there with them, and it's just honestly like, mate.
That's brilliant.
I'll never get bored at all. Never honestly.
Yeah.
Like, probably got
doing it
already, but
do a double episode on it.
Honestly, best night. That one's probably better than the Sheffield one.
Sheffield, yeah.
Because it was just surreal.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't expect it. Didn't eat, like I said, like 2 weeks before. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's insane.
The second question. Can't believe that was the first question.
That was the first question. Like 20 odd minutes on the first. Sorry, guys.
But the second one was, and I think you've probably already just touched on it, to be fair. But what's the scariest moment of your life?
Oh yeah, definitely the India.
Was it?
Yeah, 100%.
Anything come close?
No. Really? Yeah. I've literally genuine fear for my life.
Really?
Not just me own, my dad's as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
genuine fear.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. all my savings, everything, just there.
All gone.
Crazy.
Crazy. My one, when I was 10, like, I had a croup attack. Do you know what croup is?
Yes, yeah.
So for those who don't, it's like a vicious asthma attack basically. And I was normal all day through that day. And then this night I just felt, I was watching telly, just felt myself a bit unwell. And then I went upstairs and I went into my mum and dad's room for some reason. And I was like coughing, but it was like very like empty. It was like hollow, the cough, it was weird. And then my brother came in, he was working, came in and was like, gave me a drink, and then he's like, you alright, you don't sound well. I was like, I don't know what's up here. And then this is like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. And my mum and dad don't really, like, I've never heard them really speak about it to me, to be honest with you. That's how like frightening it was for them. I went downstairs and obviously this noise, and they were like, you okay? And as I tried to speak, mate, nothing. And I was like trying and nothing was coming out. It was like everything had just gone from me. And then obviously I'm panicking then, I'm trying to catch my breath, but this is coming out. And then obviously like, my mum and dad, like, my dad tried to pick me up and like take me outside to get fresh air. But I think it was a summer's night, but I don't know if it was just like the wind or something, like made me feel worse. I was like proper couldn't. And then next minute as I went in a panic, he like put me down, and I literally ran from me to you, and I just went bang on the floor, just flat out. And I was down. I don't know how long I was down for, obviously, because it happened to me, but I was down. I think they said like I passed away for like 3 minutes. Me next door, but one neighbour was like an ex-nurse, so they were like knocking on her door. Imagine like 10:30 someone banging on your door. Do you know what I mean? I think she was in the 60s then. She started recently, to be fair, like, so, which is quite sad really. But she was like next door but one. She came, and her and my brother saved my life. And I said like, I've just,
wow.
I don't feel too bad talking about it, but I can't imagine what my mum and dad must have thought watching that, because I went through it, like it was me that it happened to. So I woke up and I'm like what the hell? Whereas Dave witnessed it, like my dad said, I was flat out on my back, and he said the only way to describe the colour of your face was as if someone was underneath the floor, pulled everything out of you, and you just went grey, like a grey. He said that everything just went out of you like that. And then like there were certain things that I remember hearing. So I'd seen Bon Jovi for the first time the month before, and my dad was like, come on mate, you want to see them again? And I was like, and then have you ever watched Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah.
When I was passing, the only way I can describe the last thing that I seen in my eyes was like the colours of the wheels spinning in my eyes. That was it, in both eyes like that. And then I just went like that.
Just blanked out.
Just gone. I can't remember anything else till I went like and came back.
Jesus.
Scary. And they're like, touch wood.
Goosebumps.
Honestly, like I said, I've never really spoken to mum and dad about it. They physically can't speak about it. But like my sister, Rachel, was, I think she just turned 8. I think, yeah, just turned 8. She was witnessing it. Do you know what I mean? My brother was 20, saved my life. Do you know what I mean? Like my next door neighbour who, like we'd always been pally with, must have thought like, how's my life just changed in like a minute there, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if she was in bed or watching telly or whatever, but it was late at night, do you know what I mean? I said that Paul had just come back from work in the cinema and that, but mate, that by far, nothing will ever come close to that, I don't think.
No,
honestly.
Unless you nearly die again.
Yeah.
Which we hope it doesn't happen. Yeah. I mean, it will happen one day, but
but I hope it's not I die of just in my sleep.
Yeah.
But that one, definitely.
That's scary, that. Did you have another one?
Well, I did, but I think I might go back to it at the end.
Okay.
Because it's a bit long one, so I think if we answer other people's.
Yeah.
What did we get asked?
There was one. Obviously, this is school related, but we'll answer it anyway. It was, who was your favourite teacher in school? And then the person said, in their opinion, it was Mr. Phoenix, so Dave Phoenix. Shout out to Big Dave. So I'll go first on this one. Cool. Obviously, for anyone who went to Chilwell School, you will understand this. For anyone who didn't go to Chilwell School, it's about teachers, so just listen anyway. You know. I think I've touched on this on a previous podcast, but my favourite teacher was Mark Curtis. He was the drama teacher, then my theatre studies teacher and film studies teacher. Absolute legend. Again, you know, sadly passed away. Very sad, because that man was a genius, and I think Jay's favourite is actually the same. But Fino, again, legend. You know, there was a lot of teachers in our era that were quality, and I will give you a little sneak plan of what we've got planned. We I won't say who, but we are doing a teachers podcast. We're getting a few of the old school teachers on. I won't tell you who. They've agreed to do it. We just need to set a date. So for anyone who went to Chilwell, that'll be exciting for you to see behind the scenes of what exactly went down, because it's going to be full uncut, full in. This is what happened. And for anyone who didn't go to Chilwell School, just to see the life inside of the teachers and what goes on behind closed doors. Because I think when you're in school, you just think, like for me, that like teachers' staff room, like you wanted to see what was in there and what gets talked about. Who's shagging who, who's having fights with who, because it happens, you know. They're adults, do you know what I mean? It happens. So we've got a few teachers coming on the podcast, which will be amazing.
That's one that I'm proper looking forward to, you know.
We just need to get a date in, but keep a lookout for that. Obviously we're going to plug it massively because it's going to be insane, but they've agreed and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So that was a good question. Thanks for that question.
Yeah, as I said, man's Curtis all day. I don't think we got taught by him until, was it sixth form?
No, I think it was year 11.
Yeah.
I think it was year 11. We got taught by him, but he was very influential on the drama performances.
Yeah.
So when we performed the Christmas Carol, we did a Christmas Carol play. I played Scrooge. Jay played Tiny Tim, because you're like 2 foot nothing.
See, I did an audition for that one as well.
So even before he taught us, he was very influential in terms of, like, I loved acting, and that was probably one of my first big acting performances in terms of jumping into it. So he'd pull me to one side and say, you know, this is what you need to do better. I've noticed you're doing this when you're talking. Stop doing that. You look like an idiot. Try doing this, try doing this, try doing this. And he like developed my acting skills into something that I can't even describe. You know, he was brilliant, and it wasn't just a case of like a teacher talking to you. It was a friend. Do you know what I mean? He was one of the boys, so to put it. He was very honest. There was no cut lib. You know, he'd tell you straight. He wouldn't sugarcoat anything. If he thought it was bad, he'd tell you it was bad, and if he thought it was good, he'd tell you it was good. So him, by
one of my
far.
best memories of him, and you might remember this. It was after dinner, and we were waiting. I think we were waiting for him to open like the doors and that. And I started having a fight with a certain person in our circle, and I had them up against like the lockers.
Yeah.
And I was like, something just switched on me that day, and I was just ready to kick off. And I remember we went in, and like it was you that separated us.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I remember I was sat down, and this person was in my acting group, so he was in my play, and I was like, I've got no, I don't want to speak to, like, I just couldn't, you know what I mean? And I think Curtis got onto something was wrong, came round and just whispered this joke in my ear, and me, you know me, I can't help but laugh, and I went from this to just like crying, and from then on I was fine with that lad. But he obviously seen that I just wasn't up for something, like up for it that day, and he just came over and the joke was horrendous.
They always were.
Honestly, I think that's what I used to love, and at the time I was thinking, I'm not ready for his jokes, I'm not ready, and he just whispered it, and I just crumbled. And after that, and we just go, it takes a lot for a teacher to do that. They could just go.
He was brilliant.
Half an hour left of him, like sacking him off, joking me. I'm not putting any effort there if he's sitting there like that. But he didn't. He'd noticed that you weren't on form, or as you said, if you weren't on form, he'd go.
He'd tell you, that's what I mean. He'd tell you, like, that was terrible. Like, do you know what I mean? Because at that time, obviously, you look, you know, Canal, I wanted to go on and do drama and go to drama school and be an actor and everything. So, you know, you're in that bubble of this is going to be my future life. So if someone so important and influential is telling you it's shit, it's shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And you're going to do anything in your power to change that from his recommendation. But yeah, absolute legend.
What was the funny question that we got asked? The first one, something about a frog and a kangaroo.
Oh no. Oh fuck. Would you rather be a pigeon or a turtle?
Turtles are the ones that swim, aren't they? They are, aren't they?
Turtles?
Yeah. They swim.
Turtles, tortoise, terrapins, they're all fucking... Well, they're not the same, and I'm going to get angry people saying they're not the same.
I'd go for a pigeon.
I'd go for a pigeon because of Richarlison. Because he's a poo-poo.
I think I'd like the idea of flying more.
But you hate rats, they're flying rats.
Yeah, but like, just swimming, you just see water and like...
And they're slow as well, turtles.
And everything, do you know what I mean? Like, just floating around. Whereas at least flying, you get to see everything.
And you get to shit on people.
Yeah, like anyone I dislike that day, I'll just go, you know, I'm going to fly today. Bang, on your head.
Do you reckon you could upgrade to like a seagull as well, like a transformer?
See, I will never go on the dark side of being a seagull after getting mugged by a seagull, so pigeon it is, Tom.
Getting mugged by a seagull.
I'll say pigeon it is. Yeah, I think there was one more question that we got asked. Oh, I've got a question actually. This was on, remember The Circle?
Yeah.
I've been watching it, started again this week. One of the people asked, would you sooner have one big finger or 100 little fingers?
One big finger?
Would you?
Yeah, why would 100 little fingers?
Yeah.
One big finger.
Would
you see that girl that's gone viral on Lad Bible for having the massive finger?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the first big finger I've seen.
Oh.
So I used to work with a girl called Katie. Shout out Katie Mannion. Lovely girl. We got on amazing. She was my AGM when I was GMing in Banyan in Manchester. I've got Instagram on her balls. And her finger is like that girl's, but I swear it's bigger.
Oh my man.
And she put
one finger?
Just one big massive. Like,
So
no, like she's got big fingers, but
okay.
obviously that finger's bigger for some. I don't know. Anyway, it's a big finger, and you see like this random girl go viral. I was like, fucking hell, like that could have been Katie because her finger's massive.
Oh my word.
Yeah, so I'd rather have one big finger because I've seen what a big finger looks like, and you could play the piano good, couldn't you?
Yeah. See, I think if you had loads, I'd love to be able to type with like different. Do you know what I mean? So like the Z's over there, I go little finger over there. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you're typing, you have to go.
When I think of like those little fingers, I think of Spirited Away. Have you seen Spirited Away? It's a Studio Ghibli film, Spirited Away, and he's called the Boiler Man, and he's got like loads of these arms. But like, let me get a picture of him. Studio Ghibli, it's called. It's like anime. He's called the Boiler Man, and basically he runs the boiler house, the bathhouse, sorry, on this film. I suppose he's more like a spider, but that's what, when you said that, the first thing I thought of, you type in Boiler Man, Spirited Away comes up straight away. I thought maybe like Yellow Pages, do you want a Boiler Man coming out? Here he is. Right there.
Don't talk to me about boilers, though.
He is. Here's him scranning. I suppose he has got loads of 100 fingers because he's got loads of hands.
Oh my word. Boiler Man.
Boiler Man. There he is.
So does he solve? Is he a
he runs the bathhouse.
Oh my word.
It's like all the little keys drops and he pulls them out and he's doing all this. He's got loads of soot sprites helping it. It's brilliant. That's what I thought of.
No, the third question. Shall I go to it now?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
It's a good one. It's about me and you. What's our funniest moment together?
Oh, come on. That is physically impossible to answer.
Any that's jump out at you? Any story? I mean, there's a few.
Oh God, there's loads.
I don't think I could put it down to one.
Obviously the geese on the bike rides.
That's one that definitely.
That's one.
100%.
Oh mate, there's hundreds. Go on, what's yours?
The funniest moment, mate, was you falling off that bench in Crew.
Oh God.
Like, that was
funny for you.
That honestly was just.
I'll just smash my head on and wait.
Do you know what? I'll try and insert that video at the end of this or something.
Yeah.
Because that went on Sport Bible. That says it all.
Insert it now.
Yeah.
And here comes the video.
Yeah. That was the video.
Yeah.
I'll try and edit that into it because, oh mate, I think that every time I watch it, and still people to this day, if I'm training them and I mention this podcast or whatever, there you go.
You talk about that
off that bench. And then there was obviously one a couple of weeks later where you were running backwards.
Oh, mate! When we were doing the football drills, again, that really hurt.
You were just screaming on the floor.
I was so close from smashing my head on the row machine, like legit.
Again, probably closer than me and you were, yeah. To smash.
No, like that's 2 near-death experiences. Could have like a soft-boiled egg as a head, and that'll kill. You know, like a baby's head. It's like plasticine. You could just mush it, like. If you wanted to. I mean, why would you do that? You like don't do that to babies. That's weird. But,
yeah, please don't try that.
Please don't try that.
Yeah, that's like them too. I think because they're so fairly recent, and I think Instagram helps with like memories, doesn't it?
Oh, massively. Instagram and Snapchat. The only reason I really have Snapchat is because like I'll do a video or whatever, a picture, and I'll save it.
Yeah.
So like the next year it'll pop up. I love it.
Best, like I said, that's one where people who don't even know. I mean, you've walked into the gym and people are going, "You're the guy."
Yeah, you're the guy for like fucking hell. I am now labelled as the guy that falls over.
Just one person, a few have done that.
Yeah.
This is the famous Tom.
This is the thing. Yeah. This is the famous Tom who falls over. No. No.
No, it is.
It is. Yeah. That's me.
I think they are. One way me and you have been together was when my mum and dad said to you that their wedding song was Rabbit Rabbit.
Oh
and
my
we had a few drinks. It was just
God.
that unplanned night. Me and you had the few drinks. You came to my mum and dad's, and from one end of the garden to the other end, they were jumping like little rabbits.
I will never forget that. I was like, yeah, wedding song Rabbit Rabbit Rabbit. I was like, what? The next thing they both get up and they go Rabbit 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 Rabbit. That was amazing. That must have been about 10 years ago now, even longer.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. That.
Certainly 2010, 2011.
Then we went to Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. Had a few games of pool.
And then was that the night where we got stuck? I don't mean literally stuck, but we got stuck in Mackey's.
Yes.
Mate.
Yeah.
That was weird.
For hours.
For hours.
Yeah, I remember. Did your mum call you or text you saying like,
Mum or Dad,
where are you? Like, it's like 1 a.m.
Yeah, at least. I think we got
Hollywood Bowl closed at 11.
Exactly. We only went. I think me and you said we'll just get like a drink.
My strawberry milkshake turned to water. That's how long we were there. It turned back into a strawberry.
That was like. That was weird. That was a weird night. That, but yeah, I think they're ones that kind of like pop up. Like as you said, there's that many that would be something we would have to.
Oh yeah, we would literally have hours and hours.
Like even some of these are just like have made me laugh. Like,
yeah.
I look back and you doing the first podcast and you're like getting stuck in the aisle and that. Cause
oh yeah, cramming. Yeah.
Little stuff like that. As you said, I think Instagram's helped with like memories because before probably. We had Instagram, it's hard to remember stuff because it is
hard, yeah. Like, yeah, because you forget something, then Instagram reminds you, and you remember it then instantly, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how memory works.
I know we've said, I think before we wrap up, I know we've said in the past where we kind of want to stop like the COVID talk and lockdown and that, but tomorrow's 3 weeks away till I'm back on work and Cafe Sass is open. So tell everyone about Cafe Sass, how it's looking and what the plan is for that on.
Yeah, well, yeah. The cafe itself is looking incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible. I keep doing little teaser videos, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Funny you should say in terms of the 12th of April. We were planning on to open that because you're allowed outside seating, and we do have an outside area up on Type Barn Street outside the cafe. We've now decided not to do that for the simple reason it's that magical and beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
We want people to experience the full SAS experience. So what I mean by that is we don't want people to walk in and see how amazing it is inside and not be able to sit inside.
Yeah, that's true.
What we want is for you to be able to come in and be able to sit inside. So if that means delaying it by another 4 weeks, that's what we're going to do, and that's what we've decided to do, and that's not a problem because it excites me so much. I love it. It's amazing.
I think Melina touched on it last week where she was like, it's Instagram heaven.
Yes.
And I think you just summed it up there, where if you were to open and people can't sit in and can't really post, sitting outside the cafe with a drink in your hand's not going to have the same effect as being sat in with. I'm not going to give anything away, but how it looks, it's going to be like...
All I'm saying about it as well, you know, every dish, every coffee, every tea, everything you purchase, you will be able to take a photo of it without a fucking filter. That's all I'm saying. You'll be able to take a photo of it, not put any filter on it, and post it immediately on Instagram, is all I'm saying. It's out of this world. Like,
don't you think it's mad how like times are changing? I'm going to sound like a proper old man here, and I'm the worst for social media anyway, but like that cafe we're talking about, Instagram, like it's based on Instagram. I think that's amazing. Like, because
it's the world we're in.
Good. I had a client last year, and he was saying how we had a coffee shop, and this was when you were like ready to open and that, and he was like, it failed miserably. But I was thinking to myself, have you promoted it? Because I'm looking at yours a year before it's even open, and I'm like, that's gonna women, especially, without sounding sexist, they're gonna love it.
You know, it is a woman's paradise. I don't, you know, it's not sexist. It's a fact. At the end of the day, you know, it's very girly. It's very pink, flowers. You know, it's nice. Not to say that men won't love it, because
exactly. Like they will.
They will. But in terms of the world we live in, the influencer world we live in, with the Instagram world and the TikTok world, that is your paradise. Do you know what I mean? So it's very exciting, and that, you know, I'm really looking forward to opening it. But as you said, you know, we do live in an Instagram world, and I think if you don't come with the time, you're going to get left behind and you're going to lose your business. Simple as that. You need to evolve. You have to, because this is now life.
It is.
It is.
Like,
look at TikTok now. The music charts is influenced by TikTok. That is fucking mind blowing.
It's like I said, you've got to put the graft in for the business, and social media is a huge part of that now.
Oh mate, you need to do it.
If not really, in some ways the biggest, because as you said, that's your flyers way of doing stuff now, that's your business card way of doing stuff now. They're quite old school in that sense, whereas Instagram is free marketing. It is. People will do the job for you. Simple as that. And I mean, I don't have Facebook, but you'll pay, I don't know how much it is, for a couple of quid for a sponsored post, which reaches a whole different level of audience. More so Insta. I think Facebook's kind of died on its arse now. Facebook now is like sponsored. Facebook's like eBay. But with them sponsored posts on Instagram, you need Facebook. I don't have Facebook, I can't do them. But then I'll see yours, and I'll look at the likes, and I go, that's got a whole new range of likes than the post before. Because it's gone to a bigger audience. So I mean, for the sake of a few quid, as I said, you'd pay 20 quid for flyers and go around town to people who've seen your business and that. This goes to a whole different audience. As I said, this could be something, I honestly think this Cafe Sash could be something that people come into Liverpool and want to go to it. I think so. Like it's going to be a place where they're like, we've got to see that Cafe Sash. I think so. And obviously I'm going to be biased no matter what business, but I'm like genuinely, with not being biased, this is what you've just said, exactly that. And you know, Liverpool's not just where we're coming. Ooh, exciting. But 12th April is just... So you excited, obviously, touching that there quick? Yeah, I am, but something you touched on at the start, like, I kind of run myself into the ground with work, and I think I have got to try and make a bit more time for people. Yeah, I agree. You do far too much. I've missed, as I said, I've missed, like, seeing my mum and dad, or I've seen my nephews, mate, about 3 times in a year. Wow. Do you know what I mean? That's a huge chunk of their early years that I've missed out on, and it's probably my own fault. I'm a bike ride away, do you know what I mean? But then you also feel you're intruding on stuff now, and not that I would be, but that's how it feels. That's how it feels now with COVID. Like, can I go down? Even though my brother might have the same opinion as me, I don't want to go down. And I was saying to him yesterday, like, the hardest part for me is, like, they'll come to the door sometimes, and like, because of all the whole rules, can't hug and that, and I sometimes feel like I don't know if I'd sooner not see her until I can, and I can proper hug her, you know what I mean? Because when they're driving off, I'm like
heartbroken. Like,
on New Year's Eve, my brother came down to drop off our Christmas presents because he had COVID at the time. So we dropped them off, and my nephew, who's 5, ran out the car, sprinted up the drive, but then had to stop by my brother. And usually he'd run into
straight to you,
and like Parton's like, I'm gonna hug him. If he runs to me, I'm doing it. And he stopped there, and you know, you're like, straight away I was like, I don't know if I wanted that, do you know what I mean? Like, was it weird? You know, it's nice to see them, I'm not knocking that at all, but you know,
I know what you mean.
Just, if I'm going to see them, I want it to be proper.
Yeah.
And I think to go back, I think April 12th, I'm going to absolutely try and smash it, because I've missed 3 months of wages, I haven't had any help, nothing. I've literally had 2 people pay me since December. Genuinely, 2 people pay, like, it's worrying. But I'm prepared to put the work in April 12th and smash it, you know what I mean?
No doubt you will.
I'm excited, and I'm excited just for the summer as well, do you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to be in the gym 24/7. I'll mix it up with the likes of Evan Hills, because I've been there for 3 months in the freezing cold, mate. I want a bit of sun there, so I want to appreciate working there again, do you know what I mean? And it's going to save me money anyway with rent, so yeah, I'm ready. Like,
happy days.
The drive for me is just off the scale.
Yeah,
I've got so much energy, like, just to
exciting
put it in. But I think April 12th onwards.
April 12th, it has to be done, you know.
Change has got to happen, hasn't it?
100%. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we shall leave it there. Once again, thank you for listening to the TJTV podcast with myself, Tom.
I'm Jay.
And please remember to give a little like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family to listen to us chat wham.
And mate, we've got a good guest again next week.
We've got a very good guest next week. Again, we will post that in a few days.
Exciting.
Dangle the string. But yeah, we've got a good guest, and again, you know, we'll reveal more on like the teachers podcasts and stuff coming up soon. We've got big things planned, which is great.
Can I also just say before we finish, I still get people going, I think when you go back to work and have a routine, you're going to
yeah, I get that as well.
Mate, like, I know you say you're not, and I will. I don't plan to stop this at all. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, what are we, 7 episodes in?
Yeah.
And we've had 2 very good guests, like, in terms of following and that. And then we're gonna, and obviously Jordan, no disrespect that, I mean, in terms of followers, we had Jordan on. We've got the teachers one coming on.
Yeah.
And then we've wrote a list of other people that we want on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think we will get, like, it'd be daft to really well, like, the amount of people who say, you just keep saying this. Like, we're here every Sunday.
It's one of them. People will continue to say it until they see, you know, it continue, basically.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You know, you can say it as much as you want, but you know, until we actually do stop, which it's not going to happen.
Yeah, like,
I enjoy doing it.
Like, look at the backdrop. Do you know what I'm saying? After 10 podcasts, when we go back to work, we're just going to go, right, take all that. Like,
exactly. You know, quite a bit of money's been put into it, so we're going to continue to do it.
And we'll continue to put it in. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going anywhere. Little Wolf of Wall Street there for you. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day, and it's a goodbye from me.
And me.
Ciao.